I definitely, commend him at least for stepping up to the plate. But I think it's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss. And, me whoop it to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out. In general, me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds, and it was just light work. And me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass his jab, it's game. Yeah. It's food. It's lunch food.
Teofimo Lopez isn't holding back. He's ready to show exactly how he plans to KO Shakur Stevenson. Straight out of the gate, Teofimo Lopez is sending a deadly warning to Shakur Stevenson, planning to beat him in a way that either forces Stevenson to quit or ends with a knockout. He tells Stevenson to be ready for the first loss of his career. Revealing his game plan, Lopez explained that he won't focus on being overly technical, but instead will be aggressive, throwing powerful first punches to set the momentum and deliver the big pop shots that fans love.
I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop it to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out. How I see this fight being played out is with me pretty much setting that momentum for the people out there as well. Not really trying to force for it. However, I can't be too technical with Shakur. You got to make it a little ugly. You got to make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a weighted chess match. Certain people don't want to see that. They don't want to see pop shots. You know what I mean? They want to see good action. I have yet to see, and I think you could attest with me, I don't think we have seen Shakur face anyone higher than who he's going to face next, and that's of me.
Reassuring his belief, Teofimo Lopez makes his intentions crystal clear. Either Shakur Stevenson quits or he gets knocked out. In his view, Stevenson has never faced a bigger challenge in his entire career, and Lopez believes he has everything it takes to aggressively take him down.
I definitely, commend him at least for stepping up to the plate. But I think it's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss. And, me whoop it to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out.
You really believe that, because everyone will say, oh man, Shakur is probably one of the best defensive fighters in the game. You really believe you can stop Shakur Stevenson?
Yes.
Looking ahead to the MSG showdown, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. weighed in with his expert take on the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson clash. He warned that Lopez can't afford to play it safe if he wants the win. Sitting back and boxing from a distance would let Stevenson's elite footwork and defense pick him apart. Jones Jr. stressed that Lopez needs to take smart risks, stay aggressive, and push Stevenson out of his comfort zone, a strategy that could turn this matchup into an explosive, must-watch fight.
Stylistically, man, how does Shakur beat Teo and vice versa? Stylistically, how does Teo beat Shakur?
Stylistically, Teo got to go in and go for broke. He got to go gamble. He got to take some, get some, and that's his only way to win. If he stays outside and boxes, Shakur gonna pick him apart. Shakur's a polished boxer with some of the best feet in the game right now, and he's a defensive-minded fighter, which is very smart. It's hard to hit him. He makes you gamble to hit him, and he's going to be a tough one to deal with. But if Teofimo is willing to gamble to beat him, then Teofimo can definitely make it a really good fight.
Meanwhile, boxing superstar Claressa Shields has stepped in with a stark warning for Teofimo Lopez ahead of his showdown with Shakur Stevenson. Shields broke down the matchup, highlighting the risks Lopez faces in the ring and why he can't underestimate Stevenson's speed, skill, and ring IQ. She emphasized that one wrong move could lead to a knockout and gave her expert insight on how Lopez needs to adjust his strategy to survive and compete at the highest level against Stevenson.
My thoughts is that's going to be a very competitive fight. I think that Teo is very athletic. He's very experienced, but Shakur is the man. Shakur is hard to beat. He's skilled. Shakur is skilled. Shakur, man, the dude got power. He can fight any style. He's a thinker. He's 5 steps ahead of you. Whatever you think you're going to do, Shakur 5 steps ahead of you. So I look forward to seeing this fight. I think it's going to be good, but I feel like Shakur is going to come out on top. He's going to win. And hopefully Teo don't have his hands down and he get caught slipping, because Shakur has been showing some power.
Turning to Shakur Stevenson's confidence, Claressa Shields believes he has all the skills to floor Teofimo Lopez with a knockout. Having spent time observing him firsthand, she knows just how much Stevenson has evolved. Shields thinks Stevenson combines the charisma and technique of a Marvin Hagler, and he has the ability to trap Lopez in ways he's never imagined.
No, it's like I don't know. If you want to say like a Pernell Whitaker versus Sugar Ray Leonard type of deal. Like that's how I look at like. Yeah, both athletic, both sharp, both really good on their defense, both just very explosive. Like it's one of them fights. Like you talking about Marvin Hagler, he used to come and get you. Like Shakur can do that. Now you don't know what he's gonna do for this fight. You don't know, but I know he's gonna do whatever he gotta do to win. So.
Who's the elite fighter out of all of them? Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. Obviously you pick Shakur for Teo, but who's the best of the best? Tank. Who do you feel is the king, the emperor of all the kings?
Shakur.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like I've been knowing Shakur since he was like 15. We went to the Olympics together, and just to see how he. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has gotten so much better.
Shakur Stevenson also knows his opponent well. He believes Teofimo Lopez performs best in big fights, but the way Lopez approaches this one seems cautious, almost for his own safety. According to Stevenson, Teofimo is actually a bit scared and fully aware of the tough challenge standing in front of him. Stevenson promises to bring out the best version of Lopez, but with his own response being even more brutal to show Lopez his true level.
If we're gonna be honest, bro, when he get in them big moments, in them big fights, the best version of him show up every time.
The big fights, yeah, Lomachenko, I would agree with
but
that.
if he fighting against fighters that he already thinking like, okay, I could beat them, he probably not gonna train the same. But with me,
yeah,
he know. He gotta come in.
You gotta know that. Yeah,
at 1000%.
Yeah, you gotta know that.
So I look forward to seeing the best version of you, man.
On the other hand, Teofimo Lopez isn't holding back either. He has been dissing Shakur Stevenson for some time and recently revealed why he believes he's the man to hand Stevenson the first loss of his career. While he acknowledges that Stevenson is technically excellent, Lopez reflected on what he learned from one of their viral sparring sessions. He explained that he's already figured out Stevenson's jab, and once that's bypassed, facing Stevenson is just like eating your lunch. And that's exactly what he plans to do in the ring.
You know, Shakur is a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world. Scared to get touched up in front of the world. And
Are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general?
In general.
In general.
Yeah.
In general. Me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds, and it was just light work. And me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass his jab, it's game.
Yeah.
It's food. It's lunch food.
True to his usual ranting style, Teofimo Lopez went even further in a recent interview when asked about Shakur Stevenson and Crawford. He claimed that Stevenson and Crawford are overly close and overly supportive of each other, using it to show just how lightly he takes Stevenson. In his view, both Stevenson and Crawford are nothing more than a 7th-round job for him, opponents he believes he can handle with ease.
Did you hear Crawford and Shakur?
Those guys, they both suck each other's, well.
Alright, so I was just thinking.
I was hearing them cheerleading Barbosa. By the 7th, 8th round, they stood quiet though.
Responding to this, Shakur Stevenson, in his latest interview, slammed Teofimo Lopez, calling him an attention seeker. In his view, Lopez makes all these controversial comments and personal jabs just to get noticed, and Stevenson promises he'll pay for it on January 31st in the ring. He believes that Lopez will get his answers through Stevenson's brutal performance.
I think he's an attention seeker. So even with the racist comments, even with the homo stuff that he was doing, I think he's just a big attention seeker. He gonna do anything to get attention on him, and I think it's gonna backfire come January 31st.
Shakur Stevenson also revealed his discussion with Floyd Mayweather about the fight. He asserted that he's been advised to stay on the sidelines for the hype surrounding Teofimo Lopez holding belts, but Stevenson says this guidance is meant to help him deliver a performance that shuts down all of Lopez's critics on fight night. He promises that everyone will find out who's truly better in the ring, and that when he steps in, he's ready to explode and show his full power against Lopez.
Nah, I ain't really asked him advice about the fight. When I talk to him, we talk about different things, but he just was telling me that I should be the A side in the fight. That's what I said.
You not the A side? You a bigger name than Teo.
I am the bigger name. I should be the A side, but also he has the belt, so I get why they would make him the A side. So I don't know who's the A side, B side. I can't even tell you. I think we find out on fight night. So I think right now it's being pushed as Teofimo Shakur. So he may be the A side. We'll see.
Addressing the criticism and Teofimo Lopez's game plan, Shakur Stevenson's grandfather, Wally Moses, has completely shut it down. He believes Lopez is underestimating his grandson, though to be fair, that's not actually the case. Moses went on to assure that Lopez will get his answers on fight night, and he is preparing Shakur in a way that will neutralize Lopez. Ultimately, he insists Stevenson is set to make Lopez lose, and that loss will also put an end to his habit of making racist comments.
Let me tell you this here. I was one of, I think Teo, what he is, he's underestimating Shakur. You know, but I know, see, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this will be the time to really tell. You know, it won't be any excuses behind it. You get this here fight to get on, and once the winner move on. The loser shut the
into a van.
Yeah, man. I done, you know, like, you know, we done been through this shit so many times, and you talking about that in the U.S. and all them that got all them hundreds of fights like this is around the world.
Planning to show exactly what they want, Wally Moses believes Teofimo Lopez will have his mouth shut on fight night. He thinks Lopez needs to understand that he's facing a fighter whose success speaks volumes, someone who doesn't waste time talking like he does. With a 24-0 undefeated record, Shakur Stevenson is a real threat to Lopez, and that's exactly what his grandfather highlights. In his view, Lopez must never underestimate Stevenson, because Shakur doesn't just talk, he gets the real work done, beating every opponent in front of him, and that's the ultimate goal.
Okay. Man, I don't have to bank his success on beating everybody in the world. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he talk to talk. All of a sudden, I'm that guy. You had your chance to be that guy, and the amateurs coming up. You know what I'm saying? If you that guy, you would still be that guy. They just mad because they was never that guy. We can't help that.
As far as studying Teofimo Lopez's fights, Wally Moses reveals that he doesn't see anything spectacular coming from him. He referenced Lopez's performance against Cambasos as average, and even criticized him for not being able to knock out opponents who were considered beatable. In his view, Lopez's style has several flaws, and he plans for Shakur Stevenson to exploit those weaknesses on fight night.
Do you guys just kind of focus on, what you guys
because
do?
he was because he was Teo, just like he was average in the Cambosos fight, right? Okay, he looked just the same way in those fights. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when the guy is getting in spectacular fights, he making spectacular shit happen. Until he stopped being manufactured. Then he had to start fighting. Now he ain't knocking nobody out. As long as they put people in front of him that was knockoutable, he knocked them out. That's what he was supposed to do. Now, when you look at everything else, all his other fights shows his boxing expertise. It ain't like he been going out there winning every damn round he been in.
And that's exactly what Bruce Carrington also says. In his recent interview, he outlined what he sees as a major problem for Teofimo Lopez heading into the fight with Shakur Stevenson. Carrington believes Stevenson has the advantage and will create numerous problems for Lopez. Analyzing Lopez's style, he noticed that Teofimo tends to get frustrated, and his previous fights have shown moments of collapse, weaknesses that Stevenson can exploit. From an IQ and ring smart perspective, Carrington thinks Stevenson is far more improved and capable than Lopez.
I think Shakur has the advantage because, granted, Teo, he is known as a guy that shows up, went to big fights. I think naturally, athletically, he's more talented than Shakur. But when it comes to the IQ in the boxing style, that's where Teo has a problem. Because Teo has fought guys like Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin and shown like real big, lapses in his game, I feel like he can get frustrated. It got to a point to where Teo was out loud said like, "Do I still got it?"
Bruce highlighted the moments in Teofimo Lopez's fights where his frustration becomes obvious. In his view, there's a point in Lopez's bouts where he struggles and visibly expresses his frustration, a major concern for his upcoming fight against Shakur Stevenson, who is far superior in athleticism and overall fighting ability. Bruce believes Stevenson is clearly winning the fight, and if Lopez wants to make it competitive, he needs to stick to the game plan he used against Lomachenko. Even if Lopez succeeds in doing that, Bruce still doesn't see him coming out on top.
It bothered him so much to it, he couldn't even internalize it. He had to say it out loud, and that concerns me. Especially with a guy like Shakur Stevenson, where it's difficult to hit him, let alone he can move on his feet and, you know, shoulder roll and pick his shots and slow your pace down, all different type of things. Like, I feel like if Teo can be razor sharp focused as he was against Lomachenko, and if he brings that fight to Shakur Stevenson, I feel that it'll be a tougher fight for sure, for Shakur. Not that Teo would win, but it would definitely be a tougher fight. But I still see Shakur winning the fight.
On the other hand, Rolly Romero has raised the alarm for Shakur Stevenson. In his recent interview, he stated that Teofimo Lopez has all the tools to beat Stevenson without question. Romero believes that skill-wise, Lopez is a more accomplished fighter than Stevenson, referencing his fights with Lomachenko and Josh Taylor as evidence of his ring IQ and explosiveness. He emphasized that Stevenson has a real threat in front of him, and Lopez will have the advantage on fight night.
Whenever Teofimo fights the best fighter in the world, Teofimo's the best fighter in the world, but we shall see what happens.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think it's a great matchup for both fighters. I think it's a great matchup and a great fight for boxing.
You think Teofimo has enough tools in his arsenal to be able to take Shakur out?
Isn't Teofimo the more accomplished fighter?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right. But what I'm trying to say is,
Lomachenko. I'm not picking who and who. I'm just saying, like, how much tools dude, he had enough tools to beat Lomachenko. He had enough tools to beat another undisputed, Josh Taylor. So, I mean, what's the question here?
The hype is real, the warnings are flying, and both fighters are coming in with fire and fury. Teofimo Lopez is confident, Shakur Stevenson is sharp, and with insights from Claressa Shields, Wally Moses, Bruce Carrington, and Rolly Romero, it's clear this fight will be explosive from the first bell. Who will walk away victorious, and who will face their first major defeat? Drop your predictions in the comments, smash that like button if you're hyped, and don't forget to subscribe to Ring Rivalry for all the latest fight breakdowns, insider analysis, and boxing drama you won't see anywhere else.